Wake the fuck up, samurai. We have a city to burn.
Everybody, welcome back to Virtual Tavern, a podcast where we talk about all things sci-fi and fantasy. Welcome back to Sci-Fi Sunday. I am one of your hosts, Adam Edgar, joined by
Hunter Chavlis. Whoa. I was gonna come in and I was gonna be all friendly and shit, and you're just being straight up hostile.
I know.
Like,
I'm just like,
the fuck's up, my guy? Are we taking this outside?
we bring our fucking recording equipment and be like, all right, I guess this is what we're recording.
All right, that's it. We're having it out, you and me, right now.
Today we are continuing our Sci-Fi Sunday coverage of Cyberpunk 2077, the video game. And the last episode, we covered the interlude and like the very first few, I guess I would call them missions, but it's just like one big cinematic sequence.
Yeah.
Where you're not really given control of your character. It's the aftermath of the heist, right? It's just like this one long, like cinematic, like transition phase from the shit that went down the heist. And okay, now you're let back into the open world. So this time we are going to be covering the two missions. What is it?
Tom's Diner and Ghost Town.
Thank you. I had it pulled up because I knew I was going to forget. So this episode, we're going to be covering Tom's Diner and Ghost Town. Tom's Diner is where we meet Goru.
Yep.
Goru, I forget his last name. Takamura. And we also, in Ghost Town, get to meet not Evelyn Parker, Panem Palmer.
Yes, Panem Palmer, and we actually get to talk to Rogue.
Yes, because I don't think we've ever spoken to Rogue before this point.
No, you've seen her. Like, when you go into the afterlife, she's hanging out in her little box or whatever. But you don't ever actually talk to her. Like, this is the first time you actually talk to Rogue.
Yeah. So this is a pretty fun set of missions. It's like the first time where you get to see our branching combat styles. And I'm just going to say this right now. I sucked ass.
Dude, I did too.
You did?
When I recorded, I was so fucking tired. Like, my shooting's fucking off. My movement's dog shit.
I don't know if it's because there's such a big jump in difficulty because you're supposed to like have the 15K to give. And maybe they're like, okay, to get that 15K to Rogue to give to them, they're going to go out into the open world and grind for a little bit, and then they'll come back.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it in a second, but there was a huge difficulty spike, I feel like.
Yeah, no, I agree. And there are a couple of moments that I have footage for specifically that I'll talk about once we get there.
Yeah.
But some weird shit started fucking happening. Like
glitches?
Not so much like... one kind of felt like a glitch, which, again, footage, we'll get to it. Foreshadow.
So anyway, before we get too deep into it, we need to do our house cleaning shit. For those of you that don't know, it's where we do our talking point recaps. It's where we do our plugs, our butt plugs. We take turns, like fighting.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
It's horrid. But it's just very quick, it takes
Mine's
like 5-10 minutes. So it's where we like to promote our shit. So we are Virtual Tavern, a podcast on sci-fi and fantasy. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on a shit ton of other like audio streaming sites, as well as we're on TikTok. I have been getting back into the habit of actually creating YouTube shorts, and those will be on the TikToks and the YouTube shortly. Well, they're both on the YouTube right now. They're just not TikTok.
Yeah, I'll be getting those uploaded to TikTok here shortly. We actually had a pretty good spike in people that started finding our page on there. So hopefully that'll help get us back into the algorithm, and we'll be able to get some more traction. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. So with that being said, oh hi Ralphie, here's my dog. He might trample some cords. He just wants to say hi.
Hi, buddy boo.
Okay. So anyway, with that being said, go subscribe to our YouTube. That's where you'll get community updates. Go follow us on Spotify if you prefer Spotify. I honestly prefer Spotify. Oh, something cool that Spotify added. You can now leave comments on episodes.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was like such a basic feature that you would think is on like, Pandora, whatever popular streaming sites there are now for, audiobooks and music. You can now leave comments on each episode,
Cool.
which that wasn't a thing before. Like you had to like respond to the poll if there was a poll.
Oh, okay.
But now there's an actual like comment section. So if you leave a comment on Spotify, I will see it and I will read it on the podcast. So here comes the
beer wench!
the legendary beer wench again.
Beer wench.
You can't escape. I'm going to record you. You can't escape.
Thanks, Mal. We love you.
Anyway, wherever you like to watch your podcast or whatever, just subscribe to us on one of those platforms and you'll get the best version of us. Anyway, with that being said, we like to, this is where I would mention if we got a new listener from a new country. And guess what? We did. So Hunter is horrible at geography. If you guys didn't know.
I suck at geography. First guess in New Zealand.
No. So
Damn it.
Whenever we get a listener from a new country, we'd like to give you guys a shout out, and I give Hunter 3 guesses, and he fucks it up every time. But before you guess again, I think you can actually get this one. Okay.
Oh God.
It's one that you've guessed before. That's the only hint I'm going to give you.
Is it one that I've guessed before a lot?
I'm just going to leave it as
You son of a bitch.
It's one that you've guessed a lot. So you have 2 more guesses.
Do I finally get my twin sons? Is it Japan?
No, it's not Japan.
God fucking damn it!
Yeah, come on, don't fail me. It's like you're one of the most ones that you've guessed every time. Your go-to.
Oh.
Why do you suck this bad?
I don't remember what all I've guessed. Japan's the one that always fucking sticks out.
I'll give you a hint. It's another English-speaking country. Oh my God, you suck.
You already have someone from
It counts as a guess if you say it.
You already have someone from Sweden?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so. Oh yeah, because they were the blue and yellow that I thought was gonna be fucking Ukraine.
So Hunter, that was your 3rd guess.
Yeah. Which one did I miss?
It's Australia.
I've guessed Australia.
You've guessed Australia.
That must have been like our first.
You've guessed
or second time doing
Australia
it.
several times. It's like right up there with Japan.
Interesting. Yeah, no, they weren't even on my list. I was in the European continent.
Yes. So we have a new listener from Australia. So whoever you are, thank you for listening or tuning into the podcast. We greatly appreciate it. If you are that person from Australia, that goes right into our next little fucking segment. So we have an email. Excuse me. Our email is contactvirtualtavern@gmail.com. We would absolutely love to hear from you. We do not have any emails this week. So if you would like to reach out to us, right now we are covering Cyberpunk 2077, the video game. And in next week or so, we will be digging deep into our Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King coverage. So that's our Fantasy Friday section of the podcast. If you're interested in talking about either of those 2 topics, or you can just literally ask us anything. We would love to hear from you, and we will reach out and respond to you on the podcast.
Speaking of things that happened this week, Adam, how was your week? How have things been? Been a little bit since I've seen you.
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Been pretty good. Why? Why? Why?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
See the date on your right-hand corner of your monitor?
The 21st?
Uh-huh. Of
Yeah.
what month? What was this week, you asshole?
Was it your birthday?
It was my birthday.
Oh, fuck!
So if you guys want to wish me a happy birthday,
Fuck!
it's all good. You guys were busy. It's fine. But you gave me the opportunity to flip you shit, so I was going to utilize it.
I knew I was forgetting something. God damn it.
Yeah, if you guys want to say hi, wish happy birthday, even though it's it'd be belated, whatever. We'd love to hear from you guys. So that email again would be virtualtavern or contact virtualtavern@gmail.com.
Yes, you can give him that Hawk Tua and spit on that thing
Yes.
for his birthday. If you haven't noticed already, his fucking hat. Show that to the audience, you fucking ass. Hawk Tua, spit on that thing, you fucking Gen Z fucking what? I hate you. But now I feel bad.
No, it's fine.
Okay, I'll have to suck you off after the podcast. All right, so
After?
Anyway, see, it's conversations like this where I need to add a disclaimer in the first part, the first portion of the podcast to be like, caution, this warning, this podcast contains foul language and two idiots, being retarded.
Dude, I know how to do it. So you have it to where there's like the message that pops up, right, with the writing on it. And then for the audio, it's just fucking Kevin from The Office. Warning, warning, warning.
All right. So we're almost at 10 minutes. Let's go ahead and go into the last part of our house cleaning shit. It's our talking point recap. So for those of you that don't know, a talking point recap for us is an opportunity for us to reflect on the last second of whatever we're covering. So we just talked about it briefly last segment. It's the interlude. It's, talking to Goru, waking up, talking to Vic, talking to Misty. You're given the choices. Johnny Silverhand tries to like fucking kill you in your sleep and tries to take control. He wakes up in your body. You take the drugs and then you wake up the next day.
Yeah.
That's the whole section of the gameplay. So Hunter, my question for you, it's pretty simple. What was your favorite moment or most badass moment in that whole section?
Honestly, it'd be my most badass moment. It would just be when you get to finally take over Johnny, like, not like, talking to fucking Carrie and all that, but when you get to use his handgun because it's such an exaggerated, like, memory of how it functions. Because I'm not gonna lie, like, his handgun, one of my favorite in the game, if not my favorite. Like, before I got into, excuse me, the Phantom Liberty DLC, I used his handgun exclusively once I got it.
Yeah.
It sucks that you get it so like late in the game because, I mean, honestly, if I could, I would just to the barrel the whole time. But yeah, no, it's when you can actually start like using his gun because like it's a fucking one-shot kill pretty much.
Yeah, it's not a bad gun. I definitely enjoyed using that one. There are better handgun cannons in my opinion that I used when I went my ninja fucking one tap play style, but it's definitely like an iconic piece, right? It's got a fucking flamethrower on.
Yeah. So my question for you is, towards the tail end of that episode or that mission, we see like V, he has the Omega blockers to make Johnny fuck off.
Yeah.
And he tells him, see you later, or see you never, asshole.
Yeah.
Fucking goes to toss him in. What do you think would have happened if he had accidentally grabbed the wrong bottle? And fucking Johnny is like, all right. Like, do you think Johnny would have fucking still knocked the pills out of his hands or just dumped that bitch in there?
I don't think Johnny knew what each pill's weight. No, because at this point in time, he's part of V. So everything.
He had V's memories.
Yeah, so you're right. Never mind. I think V would have allowed him to put the drugs in his mouth and he would have tried to rip out the shard. And we know that if you try to force it out, it'll just kill you.
Yeah.
I think Johnny would have been presumptuous or like he would have gotten impatient and just ripped that bitch out and it would have killed them both.
Yeah.
Because he tried to. He's like, that fucking chip. If he had full control, he would have ripped that bitch out completely.
Well, I think, you know what? I wonder if once he takes control of V, like fully, V's just totally gone from the mind. If he can just fucking pop that fucking chip out and it doesn't need to be in there anymore because he's literally programmed in the brain.
But I don't think it's had enough time for Johnny to completely take over the body. I think right now, if you pull out the chip, they're both dead.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm saying like if he took the, I can't remember what the fuck it's called, the orange ones. If he fucking downed that whole bottle to like speed up the process to just wipe V out.
I think they're called pseudoendotrizine.
Yeah. If once he had it to where he had full control, if he could just fucking pop it out and there'd be no effect.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's a good question. I think he would have just tried to rip the chip out if he had full control in that moment.
Yeah,
and it would have killed them both. But anyway, so that is our house cleaning shit. We like to keep that around 10 minutes, and we did. So let's go ahead and dive deep into our content coverage. So last we left off, the last thing I remember is you wake up in your apartment, and you're instantly gifted the message. No, you have a quest. It's like a mini quest. You can put on your clothes, you eat a meal.
Yeah, I mean, because like you're, I can't remember. Are you a male or a female?
I'm a male.
Okay, yeah. So like, for me, I went and put on clothes because I don't want to be walking around Night City, fucking dick just swinging in the wind.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and did that. I checked the checked the mail and like the message you get from the mega building about your car. I didn't start that one because if I remember right, that actually starts the Delamain side quest.
Yeah, so this is something weird. I guess I should finish the thing, what we were talking about. So you go out after you do like a little mini game where it's like optional quest, eat some food, put some clothes on, check your email. You leave the building and Goru calls you. And you're like, why are you calling me? He's like, we must speak. We have many things to discuss. So he tells you, meet me at Tom's Diner.
Yeah.
And you get to go down and you look at the whole mega building, and the mega building's fucking massive, dude. And it's beautiful. And this is where you get to actually start engaging with a little bit of side quest, right? There's those 2 police officers.
Yeah, for Barry.
Yeah, that are right outside your neighbor's door. And I can't remember, his partner died, right? And he's kind of like secluding himself.
Yeah, so he had someone die very close to him, and like he's kind of going into a depressive state. So those 2 officers were good friends with him. The dude, from what I remember, is like what I guess pop culture now would define as like a toxic masculine guy. Like, he's not allowed to feel sad, he's not allowed to feel like this or that. Like, he's a guy, he should be fine. But the woman is very like supportive. So you walk up on them and they're knocking on the door trying to get his attention.
Yeah.
And then they eventually back off and ask for your help.
Yeah, so that's a quest line that you can come back at a later point. You kind of start it right now if you wanted to.
Yeah, which like for me, for my footage, when I went down there and I heard them talking, I was like, fuck, I remember this happening, but like I didn't expect to record it now. So I snipped that off, like Barry Quest intro over here. That's gonna stay there till I do it.
Yeah, I kind of did that too. I was like, all right, I want to record this now. I might not use it, but I just want to record it now. So you go down the mega building. You can walk past the trainer dude. I think his name is Al. No, it's not Al.
The coach?
Coach. His name is just Coach.
Yeah, I think it's just Coach.
You go past the coach. You can talk to him, get a sparring session, I think. You can walk past the gun range. I think your gun is waiting for you at this point. Like your custom gun, that whole quest line. Or get it like way early. Oh, wait, you got it way early, huh?
I did on my console. I don't think I did here.
Okay, I think you can go back to there.
Okay, yeah, so I'll have to go back.
The Second Amendment shop in the mega building. There's
so slight side tangent. It's kind of fucking with me having it on both my console and my PC because my console, like I fucking pre-ordered the DLC and all that shit. Like I was fucking ready to go. So I got an additional car that you get for free. That's this fucking fast ass muscle car.
Mm-hmm.
I got that upgraded weapon right out the get go. Because like I said, if you go to try to grab your car, it starts the Delamain quest. You can't. I went to Auto Fixer. I don't have the car available. I don't have the gun. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It took me a second to process. Like, oh yeah, this was all purchased afterwards.
Yeah. So you leave the mega building, and I instantly tried to call my car. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like the Joker when he's like clicking the button to call my car. When he's like messing with the fucking explosive device. Like, why isn't it going?
Yeah.
And then it blows off and everything. But for some reason, I couldn't call my car, and then I realized, oh fuck, this is the Delamain quest, huh? That's why I can't access my car. So I just beelined it. I hoofed it to Tom's Diner. It wasn't far.
You ran to it?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I ran to Tom's Diner. I did not run to Pan Am.
No,
I fucking stole a car.
That's 1.2 kilometers away.
Yeah.
No, I did the same thing to get to Pan Am and to the afterlife. I stole a car.
Yeah,
because I'm like, I don't want to do the Delamain shit right now. And I don't want to hit like pause and then fucking re-record and everything. So I'm like, you know what? I can get by just stealing cars for no.
Yeah, and that's more or less what I did too. Like it took me so long to get to Pan Am because the car that I stole, it got fucking I should say the original car that I stole. I got murdered.
Murdered.
I love murder. No, I got killed because as soon as I got in the car, you know how like the random car fight chases start with gangs?
Yeah. Like
I got mobbed by fucking 3 different cars.
Oh.
And the cops were on me. So I was getting shot from fucking everyone. I was like, fucking leave me alone. I got shit to do today.
Guess I'll die.
Yeah. So I had to
You were frozen? Well, now you just got to let it go.
We both
Let
fuck
it go. Let it go. So we were frozen for a unforeseen amount of time. It wasn't that long, must have been like 10 seconds.
It was enough for me to notice, but hopefully for you guys, it wasn't very long. If not, like the audio's still going to be there.
Oh, yeah. Well, it'll be fine.
It'll be fine. It'd be fine.
And then you'll be fine. Little Jim mentioned from The Office. Anyway, so I go to Tom's Diner, right? I just beeline it, and you meet Goru, and you sit down, and you're at V. At first, you're like, "Why are we even meeting? Like, why are we even talking?"
Yeah, like what the fuck is happening right now? Like, what do you want from me?
Yeah. So Goru mentions that we have a shared, like a quest, or we have a shared desire or a shared enemy.
Yeah,
and he tells you that I need to get to the bottom of this. I need to get to some dirt on Yorinobu so I can put him under. I know he did it. I know he fucking killed Saburo. I just need to get the dirt on him. You can help me, and then I can inverse help you. And the conversation continues on, and he mentions like, I'm looking for Evelyn Parker. Do you know where she is? And then V's like, oh, well, what the fuck? She probably skipped town, so you just answered your own question.
Yeah. And then later on, like he asks you if you start talking about like how she could possibly help you, and he goes, oh, well, she part of a corp? And like I don't know, like she didn't seem like she was tied to anybody, but she had the slyness of a corpo.
Yeah.
And fucking Goro gets pissed. He's like, oh, do you say I have the same slyness?
I don't think I chose that option.
Oh, I did. You'll
great.
see it.
That's great. I'll have to look at that in post. So you mentioned Evelyn Parker, and Goro's like, you will not find her. Like, why the fuck did you bring her up then? Fucking ass. So, and the conversation evolves, right? Like, you end up talking about Andrew Hellman.
Yeah.
Okay, that's his full name.
Andrew Hellman was the designer of the relic. Like, he was the one that created the whole thing.
And the reason why V knows who Andrew Hellman is because in that brain dance that you went into to get intel on the heist, Andrew Hellman is talking to Yorinobu in like the big ass fucking TV.
That was him.
Yeah.
I knew that Evelyn Parker had information on him. I didn't realize that was Hellman. That's actually fucking cool.
Yeah, that's
I'll have to pay attention next time I play.
Yeah, it's the brain dance where you're taking part. As soon as you meet Adam Smasher and he's like, you look like a cut of fuck hole meat. Are you? It's a few seconds after that. You look at the big ass monitor and Yorinobu was talking with him through the TV. That's the first time you get to meet Andrew Hellman, technically. So the conversation evolves. You start bringing up the topic of Andrew Hellman. And so now you have two options, right? You've done talking to Goru. Well, there was a nice little comedic moment we should mention. So the fucking diner guy.
The TV?
Yeah, the TV. So the TV goes to Hanako, right? Which is the daughter of Saburo and the brother of Yorinobu. I got it.
I thought you were going to fuck it up.
I know. So Hanako comes up on the TV and she's talking about typical political jargon. The guy changes the channel. He's like, I can only stand so much of that corpo trash. And Girl's like, what the fuck you say? He's like, change the channel right now.
I wasn't listening to that.
Yeah.
You're the only one that was, you piece of shit.
Yeah, so at this point, the diner guy is getting fucking pissed off. I'm assuming this is Tom, the owner of the diner, or just,
yeah.
I'm that's my headcanon. This is Tom. So Tom starts getting pissed off. Oh yeah, well, it's fucking pieces of shit like you. And there's an interrupt option. Did you choose the interrupt option?
I did.
So I can't remember what you say is the interrupt option.
You say something along the lines of, hey, calm down. Like, it's not worth it, kind of a thing. And as soon as Takamura sits back down, you're like, we don't need to be drawing unwanted attention or unwarranted attention to us. Something along those lines. I've never let that run out.
So I just did it for curiosity's sake. I knew nothing substantial was going to happen. I let it run out, and that diner guy, the owner, just goes into his speech. It's piece of shit corporals like you that steal our jobs, ruin our country, and fucking bring destruction and death to the land. Now finish your tea and get the fuck out.
Make Night City great again?
Yeah.
Make Night City great again?
Oh, speaking of politics, a certain somebody just dropped out of the race.
I saw that. I had it on the news this morning when I was fucking trying to sleep off a hangover.
Yeah. So, no comment because we're going to piss off people. Anyway. So you leave the Tom's Diner and Goru gives you the option, right? Like either or. You could choose to go down the Evelyn Parker rabbit hole and do that first, or you can choose to go down the Evelyn Parker, the Andrew Hellman.
You can go down the Evelyn Parker with Evan Parker.
It's just got more sass. So at this point, you can choose between the two quests. And for this purpose of this podcast episode, Hunter and I both chose to do the Ghost Town mission, right? Is that what's called?
Yeah.
Ghost Town. This mission is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
So the first off, Goru gives you directions like you must go to the afterlife and talk to this person, Rogue. I've tried probing her for information, but she's rude and she's picky and she's all these things.
Which is where it opens up that dialogue option that I brought up before where if you click it, you can say something like she can sense that corporal rat in you, huh? So like the fact that we're both like our life path was corpo and we're still fucking dissing them is hilarious to me.
I think I chose the corporal one on that one. I can't remember. But yeah, so your job is to go down to the afterlife, contact Rogue, and see if you can get any information on Andrew Hellman. And this is the reason why I think there might be a difficulty spike. Either my build sucks, but you were also having difficulty too.
Yeah, I mean, you'll be able to see in the footage, like, it's a lot of me, like, not aiming well. Like, I was fucking tired when I was playing.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie.
So you go to Afterlife, you talk to Rogue, and she's like, all right, I'll help you out, but it's going to be $15K. And I'm not ashamed to admit it. I used a certain tool to get me $15K because I didn't want to fucking go around and grind for a little bit. And
dude, I had the money on me. I had like 170 grand on me.
Yeah, I haven't done shit. I've literally done A to B to everything that we've covered. I haven't done side quests at all.
Well, you should do the fucking police scanner missions. That way you can bump your shit up.
I know, but I'm just trying to beeline the story right now. But now, after getting my ass kicked, I'm like, okay, maybe I need to grind. Maybe I need to get some levels on me, get a better baseball bat, get some cyberware.
Now.
What are you, Spider-Man 3, Tobey Maguire? Fucking. It's like. Fortnite dance. Anyway. So that's the reason why I think there's a decent difficulty spike is because you're supposed to have that 15K, which means you have to either like grind your fucking ass off. Well, 15K is not that much in the early game still, right?
Not much, but I do remember when I first got to this, I didn't have the money on me, so I had to actually go out and do the work.
Okay, so I think the game is kind of gating you, soft gating you, right? Like you need to go out there, kill some fucking cyber psychos, do some police scanner missions, maybe level up 2 or 3 times, get a better gun, and then, all right, now you come back.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be a little prepared for that. I was not. And, so I went in kind of bullheaded. I'm like, oh, I'll be able to handle it just fine. I got these gray assault rifles I picked up at the fucking hotel when I was doing the heist. Yeah. I'll be fine. Nope. So you talk to Rogue and she's like, all right, give me a day. You can go to the bar and there's like a little quick time sequence where you can just skip the day. You talk to her and she's like, all right, I got the information you needed. There's a troop carrier that's going to be coming out of, I think, Konpeki Plaza.
Yeah.
And it's going to be having one VIP on board. It's going to be Andrew Hellman.
And so one thing that happens that I've always kind of been curious about is before like she hands you the chip, like she plugs it in, says that she's got some intel for you, some interesting stuff. Johnny pops up and there's a dialogue option to like talk to him while like Rogue's just staring at you waiting for a response. So like how often does that happen? Like whenever you talk to Johnny, are people just like, this guy is he fucking retarded? Like, did he hear anything I said?
Yeah.
So like for me, like every time that happens, I just imagine them thinking like you're no longer here. You're like fucking daydreaming or something. And having like, hey, come here. What are you doing?
It's like Fallout or Skyrim or whatever. Like when you're trying to like wait to choose the dialogue option and the NPC just standing there.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm waiting for you to say something. Hello.
Stop. You violated the
law. But yeah, so Rogue will give you the intel, right? She tells you this troop transport is going to be leaving Konpeki Plaza. It's going to be suicide to try to nab him within the like Night City airspace perimeter.
Yeah.
So there's this dead zone to the south west of Night City. It's called like the Deadlands or the fucking it's like the Badlands area, right?
Yeah, it'd be the Badlands. Because you can't hit him too close to Night City, and you also can't hit him too close to like this certain plant because that also has its own range.
I think that was Konpeki Plaza.
So like there's a very small window, like a very triangulated area that you can go to.
Yeah, and even then, there's a corporal option which I chose. It's like, hey, even if we had rockets and shit, this thing is made like with pre-war technology. These things are tanks and nimble like a fucking butterfly. They're not going to be coming down conventionally. And Rogue is like, I know. We're going to do unconventional methods. I have a girl, her name is Panem Palmer. She'll help iron out the details.
Yeah, like what you tell her that you're familiar with these Chinese tactics with like Hellman being smuggled in. It's the vanishing pigeon is, I believe, the specific verbiage for this tactic of like smuggling someone in on this fucking like style of transport.
Yeah. So Rogue gives you the details, gives you the contact information of Panem Palmer. And she says, yeah, she'll help you out because she's in a tight pickle right now. She's going to choose any way to dig herself out right now. So a little backstory. When you go to talk to Rogue, Panem is actually there and she's all pissed off and storms away. The reason why she's pissed off is because she lost her vehicle and the shipment.
Yeah. And like Rogue's words to her when she was getting ready to leave was something along the lines of like, fix your own shit, fix your own problem.
Yeah.
Because, obviously it wasn't Rogue's fault that she lost all this gear. So she was just telling her, like, fuck off, go fucking take care of it yourself.
Yeah, she's just the middleman.
Yeah.
So yeah, Panem is going to be eager to fucking make right and, make amends however way she can. So you call Panem, give her the deets and everything, tell her that Rogue sent you, and you agree to meet in front of this like power plant kind of deal.
Yeah, something like that. It's like, it's way the fuck far away. Like you said, it's like 1.2 kilometers away from Afterlife.
Yeah, and I was calling my phone. I'm like, is my fucking car available yet? Fuck me. So I was like, God damn, I'm going to steal another car. I get chased by police. I'm like, yeah, I love it. So I arrive. You pull up to Panem, and this is the famous butt shot, of Panem leaned over her car, fucking with the battery and everything.
Oh, I got it. I got multiple angles on it. I did it for you, the fans.
The viewers. So thank you. Anyway, you talk to Panem and you give her the deets of the job and everything. She's like, oh, hell no. No way. I don't do abductions. It's like too much risk, too much danger. And you tell Panem like, well, I can help you get your car back. She's like, I'm listening.
Dude, what I think was really funny is that like, you roll up on her and she starts asking you like who you are, what do you want, this and that, and you tell her you can get her both her car back and the product, right? The shipment, and she's like, hey, don't fucking jerk me around. And she uses that like 2 or 3 times in that sequence.
Well, she's hot-headed.
Yeah, like I don't want to get fucking jerked around. So then what's funny with it is Rogue uses the terminology of her being on a warpath. Like, if she would have found out where her car was, which is at Rocky Ridge, excuse me, she would have gone on the warpath. So as soon as fucking like V starts to see Panem go off, he's like, God damn, are you always on the fucking warpath? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
There's a lot of dialogue options where V is like, dude, are you this bloodthirsty?
Yeah. So, you start talking to her and you try to get her to listen to reason or whatever. And there are 2 options. I can't remember what the top one was. I chose, hey, calm down. So, like, obviously V's trying to, de-escalate the situation. And Panem immediately is just like, don't tell me what to do. It's like, God damn. All right, cool.
It's all right. You're a fucking attitude.
Strong, independent woman. I get it.
Strong, independent woman. Strong, independent woman. I got
it. So... fucking what I always thought was funny too is like right after she says that she hooks something up, the fucking car alarm starts going off. God fucking damn it!
And she just rips
the whole thing.
Rips that bitch like call him off. Throws it. It's some kind of. It's like the alarm, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think this is her car, obviously. She doesn't have a car, so she stole this car.
Yeah, no, she stole this car, and like finally, like you start talking to her, and she starts to listen more to like reason and stuff.
Yeah.
And you tell her like, you know, what you'll do for her, what she needs to do for you. So she's like, okay, well, if we're gonna do this, I'm gonna need some more gear, and I need my Thornton. Like, okay, so you guys start rolling, and one option I have always done every fucking time when you're in the car is like, oh, nice car.
Just kicking her while she's down.
Yeah, she's like, don't bring it up, please. And then the next option's like, how'd you wind up in this mess anyway? And then rather than talking about like losing the car, losing the shipment, she goes, oh, well, you know, I like the color and the the air freshener and booster seat were a bonus.
I love how you've only met her for like fucking 10 minutes and she's already cracking jokes.
Yeah.
Like the Panem Palmer that I like is when she's cracking jokes and lets her hair down. She's a funny chick, but she has fucking attitude problems.
Kind of like her.
Yeah. So you hop in the car and you can choose to like skip time and everything. But you basically, I think this is where you go back to the Aldercados camp, right? Because you need tools to do the job.
Yeah, so you go back to the Aldercados camp to go talk to her two friends, which I'm spacing on their fucking names.
Scorpion and Mitch.
That's right. I knew M, but like Michael kept sticking in my head, and I think it's because, you know, before we got into coverage, I was talking about fucking Kevin with warning.
So yeah, you ride up to the Aldercados camp, and just in case you guys didn't know or haven't played the game like too a lot, so the Aldercados are a nomad clan. They choose to live outside of city limits, and they don't partake in like the corpo fucking regime. They're off-gridders. They're nomadic people. They live away from society.
Yeah, they're kind of like what I would imagine like old school fucking Native American people would have been like just kind of, you know, traveling, following herds and things like that.
Yeah. I mean, that's not a bad analogy. I mean, they do live a nomadic life. They don't stay in one spot for too long.
Yeah. So like, you know, these groups of nomads, they're wanderers. They're the wanderers.
And I'm a wanderer.
And the interesting thing about it is like there's multiple, depends on how you look at it, like there are multiple gangs, multiple families, whatever. So like it's not just like you become a nomad and you're all in one group. Like there are multiple groups throughout, you know, this whole area.
You could be a nomad, but you could be a part of many different clans. Like just because you're a nomad doesn't mean you're part of the Aldercados. You could be a part of you could be a nomad, but become part of a completely different clan.
Yeah.
Like if you choose the nomad lifestyle, you're not part of the Aldercados as your like backstory.
Yeah, so like instead of being part of the Aldercados, you'd be part of the Ku Klux.
Fuck.
But you know, we get there and first people we run into are Mitch and Scorpion. And you know, they start immediately cracking jokes. Panem and those two, because like they were really good friends with her when she was still allowed to be there or whatever. Because she got into it with their leader Saul.
Yeah.
And they look over at you like, who's this? She goes, oh, it's my babysitter. And you get three options. Like, it's, again, like one of the timed events that you can choose a dialogue option for. For me, this time, I chose the one that was like, she can't function without me. Which, what V actually says is, you know, if you didn't lose both your ride and the shipment, I wouldn't have to be there. And she fucking flips around. Shut up, V. So Mitch and Scorpion, they start laughing like, oh God, you lost your baby? What happened to it? Oh, she rode it to death in Night City.
Oh, I should have chose that one.
Dude,
I played it cool.
Fucking funny.
I chose to play it cool, like, hey, you know, just casual greeting.
I've gone through this game so many fucking times. I've done all of them.
So you meet Mitch and Scorpion, and Panem, for whatever reason, I can't remember, but she's disassociated from the Aldercados. A lot of the members of the family are still loyal to Panem, but Saul calls the shots, right? That's why Mitch and Scorpion are willing to help you.
Yeah, they're like, they were told to work on the generators to get them back up because the batteries went, as they put it, kaput.
Yeah.
But they was like, hey, he never said anything about gear leaving camp. So like he lets Panem go in. She takes his rifle specifically, and she also grabs, or I should say, you grab a box of her shit and put it in the back of the car.
I think that's where the RPG is, right? That's the RPG in that case. That takes down the fucking.
I don't think so.
I can't remember what's in the case.
Well, I always raid the case. So, like, in the case, there's jumper cables, there's ammo, and there's health items.
Oh, it's just supplies.
Yeah, so it could very well be when we get to the next mission or two, like however long it takes for us to get there. I can't remember which one it hits. The RPG might be in there, but at this particular point in time, it's not.
Oh, okay.
And it honestly, it's probably that it's actually in there, but like they wanted to make it to where you wouldn't fucking just jack it and be like, oh, check this out.
So a really funny moment for me happened as you're taking the case to the car. Panem says, all right, V, put it in the trunk. And I walked behind her with the case and I was like trying to teabag her. I'm like, I'm trying to put it in the trunk. Because she has a fat ass. That's the joke I'm trying to make.
She's got a dumb truck of an ass.
So I was like, all right, she's not playing around. I'll put it in the actual trunk. Fuck. So I put the Militech box in the trunk. And so after that, you go to, what's that ghost town called? That you... You said it just now.
Rocky Ridge.
Rocky Ridge.
I couldn't remember if Rocky Ridge was the town or if that's where their hideout is.
So her plan is to first, you need to help her get her car back.
Oh, yeah.
And then she'll help you.
And one thing I wanted to note before, you actually like arrive to the town or whatever, because like this one again, you can either skip or there's like a bunch of different conversational topics, like optional things that you can do.
Yeah.
One thing that she talks about is like, V starts asking her, like, how many ghost towns do you think there are?
Yeah.
Countrywide, thousands. And I was driving down I-80, which for people who live in certain areas, it's kind of cool because it runs fucking through there too.
Well, it doesn't really explicitly state it. I actually skipped that conversation because I was like, let's get to the action. But that's cool that you mentioned that. That dialogue between you and Panem, like how many ghost towns are there? Thousands. So what happened was, I think we briefly talked about it when we talked about like the world and the world state of Cyberpunk. There was a global war and it left a lot of the countryside like irradiated and uninhabitable.
Yeah. And for this particular ghost town, for Rocky Ridge, the plan was to expand the interstate there to like try to bring in more traffic, and it never happened. And he says something that, like, it's a really good fucking quote. Like, it's fucked, but it's a good quote. She says, that's how towns die. Not with, like, shouts and bangs, but with whimpers and whispers.
Oh, that's a cool quote.
It's fucking cool.
I shouldn't have fucking skipped the dialogue because I was imagining, like, a long-ass car ride. So I skipped a lot of those scenes where you're just in the car.
I mean, it does make it to where the car ride's longer, but the conversations you have with her is cool. Like,
damn it.
So have you ever done any of them?
When I first played the game, but now being on my fourth playthrough, I was like, all right, let's just get to the point.
So do you remember what Mitch and Scorpion used to do?
I can't remember.
They were Panzer boys.
That's right. That's how they know how to operate that fucking tank.
Yeah.
Later on in the story.
Yeah, they were Panzer boys.
They were part of the Corpo War, right?
Yeah, so Scorpion piloted, if I remember right, and Mitch ran security. And they both have these fucking just outrageous, military implants, so they can fuck up whoever they want.
Yeah, that's how they're able to handle and drive those things later on in the story.
Exactly.
That's fucking cool. I shouldn't have skipped the dialogue, son of a bitch.
Well, luckily for you, like, after my first playthrough, I didn't go through all of them, but when it's for the podcast, I go through all of them, so I'll be able to fucking hit those for us.
Yeah, that's good to know. So that's a good quote. Like, they don't die with a bang, but with a slow whimper.
Yeah.
That's how like a lot of gold towns or gold mining towns died off in like the 1800s, is like if the gold dried up, the whole town died.
Yeah, they'd move to where the gold was, so they would just be like, all right, fuck it.
Yeah.
We'll restart.
So you go to the town, and I think we should name the guy that stole her fucking car
is Nash,
right? And he's part of a faction called the Raff and Shiv. Is that what they're called?
So he's a Raff and Shiv that's part of the wraiths. The Raffins they're nomads that were kicked out of clans. So technically speaking, Panam is a Raffin. Like
Raff and Shiv, is that like the slur term for people that got kicked out of?
I think so.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that, because I knew that there was a faction out there in the Badlands that weren't nomads. They were called something else. And thank you for telling me they're called wraiths. I had forgotten. I was like, what the fuck are they called?
Yeah, so like it's a clan outside of a clan. It's like everyone that's been kicked out of clans at Panam names it. It's like rapists, murderers, thieves, things like that. Like they get booted out and they start wandering till they find more people like them, which this particular group is the race. And they also have there are other Raffin groups,
Yeah.
or other Raffin clans, even though they're not clans. It's fucking weird.
Yeah. It's like they all come from the same place, but they diverge and create their own little subgroups.
Yes.
Like they're technically all nomads, but they either get kicked out or they create their own little group, but they're technically not nomads.
Yeah, they're outcasts of
The outcasts.
yeah, exactly.
They're outcasts. So I remember that. I was like, who the fuck are these people? They're kind of like animalistic, and you remember the group in Night City that wear the mask and like completely like scavs? Are they just called scavs?
They're scavs.
Okay. I was like, they're kind of like the scavs, because they take people that wander in the wilderness and they fucking butcher you up and fucking harvest you and sold you for slavery. I was like, they're kind of like scavs. Who the fuck are they? Oh, thank you. They're the wraiths.
Yeah, the wraiths.
So you go to the town, you go to Radiator Springs, fucking a little Cars reference for you. What was it called again?
Rocky Ridge.
Rocky Ridge. You're like, Rocky Ridge, this fucking idiot.
Radiator Springs.
You go to Radiator Springs.
You fucking roll up there, fucking Lightning McQueen's just waiting. Chow. He's old as fuck, all rusted on the side.
Jesus. They've all got cyberware on them. Some mater has like a cybernetic eye and fucking oh Jesus. Anyway, so you go to Rocky Ridge, and the whole purpose is to like get the place booby trapped for the Raff and Shiv that are going to show up, right?
Oh yeah.
And you set up the place. You take the car that you stole, hook it up to some jumper cables to like the main transformer of the place, fries the fucking car. She's like, oh, it served us well while it did. And then you go up to the top of one of the buildings, get the breaker ready so that when they show up, it'll show on a light show and distract them.
Yeah. So because my intelligence is so high, there's a dialogue option that I don't feel needed to really be there, because you do the same thing no matter what. Like the intelligence dialogue option is, I'll look around for some access point.
Yeah.
Which would make more sense if like you had lights, all over the place, or you had more shit to be able to do. It's the same thing no matter what you do.
Yeah.
So like I feel like, they were trying to make it to where if you had that level of
skill check.
Yeah, if you had that ability to do the skill check, like you could do something unique, but it's the same thing. So I feel like it was a moot point when it came to that.
Well, kind of, because you had to get inside the building to like read the email or turn something on.
Well, you don't use intelligence for it, you use strength.
Yeah, that's what I did, because I'm using body.
I shot the fucking window when I went through the window.
See, that's cool. Like, it's multiple ways that reward you for whatever kind of play style you have. Maybe you invest in strength and you can just rip that bitch open. Maybe you invest in cyberware and you can like hack something. Or if you just like say fuck it, you can find an alternative route and just climb through the window. It rewards you for different play styles.
Well, I'm just saying, for that particular dialogue option, it doesn't change anything. Everything happens exactly the same.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, so like, I get that they're wanting to make it to where maybe you don't listen to the same dialogue you've, heard, 1,000 times or whatever. But for me, like, the fact that it didn't actually alter anything was a little disappointing, because I've done that every time. Because like I've had the same build.
We're at the point now where all paths lead to the same pond. It's just how you get there is where the decision making comes into play. Like,
yeah,
do you rip that fucking door open, or do you like cyberware your way in?
Yeah,
the result is going to be the same for 90% of fucking outcomes going forward. That's why the all foods mission was so cool. Yeah,
that would have been one thing that like I kind of wish they did, is have it to where there was more like influence with how you set your build up. And there will be there will be side quests that come up much later in the game that will require you to have certain
Points.
certain points attributed to like your skills or it's not skills, it's your
It's-
technical.
Yeah, your body, your technical, your cool, everything.
Yeah.
So you get all that set up, and Panem's like, all right, when they come in, hit the breaker, and it'll distract them. So you wait till nighttime, and then the RAF and Shiv show up. It's 3 vehicles, and it's about 9 guys.
Yeah.
9 guys, burgers and fries. And, oh, I forgot. It's 5 guys, burgers and fries, not 9. But anyway, well, the inflation is.
I mean, it takes more to fill the hole.
Anyway, so you hit the breaker, it turns on all the lights and distracts them. And Hunter, this is the moment where I realized I was in way over my head. I was underleveled, my build sucked ass, and I was getting my booty clapped. I had to play like a bitch because I died in this section, reloaded, and I was like, what the fuck? And I tried to go up them with my baseball bat, and it is clunky as hell. I'm imagining my
Are you Canadian?
my fucking I can't speak Canadian. I was imagining my katana build back in the day where you can just beeline it, sprint at them, and just like all right, you all right, you no, the baseball bat is you don't have any mobility options. And the fucking baseball bat is slow as hell. You can't deflect the bullets at all. Like with the katana, if you get caught in a pickle, you're out in the open. You can just like Jedi deflect. Beep, beep,
I was
beep,
gonna
beep.
say, oh, you're not force sensitive this time.
I'm not force sensitive this
no.
time. So I try to go out there with my baseball bat, and I'm slow, and I'm getting shot to shit. I don't feel tanky at all. I lose half my health before I get even to the first guy, and it takes like 3 swings from the baseball bat to kill just one ad. And I was like, okay, I'm in trouble. Yeah, I was like,
trying to be Negan out there.
Okay, one's dead. And then the other fucking 8 guys are like, you suck, dude. I'm like, I know.
I know, it fucking hurts.
So, and the growing pains only got worse, but I just ended up pulling out the pistol that I got from the heist mission. I can't remember what it's called, but it's the purple iconic pistol that you get from Yorinobu.
That's what I'm using right now too.
Yeah, it turns out that that's my strongest weapon.
Yeah.
And I'm not in tune with pistols at all, but because it's iconic and everything, I tried pulling out an assault rifle. I tried pulling out an SMG. Both of them sucked ass. Granted, they were white quality, but I was like, dude, it takes a whole clip just to kill one guy.
Yeah.
But with the pistol, it takes like 4 rounds to the head. It's like, this is the only way I'm going to get through this.
Yeah.
So eventually I killed everybody. I died once. I was like, okay, I'm fucked. I need to level up. But you kill everyone. You get inside your vehicle, Panem's vehicle. It's a big ass truck.
Yeah, it's her Thornton. So you hop in the driver's seat, and then she walks over like, no, bitch, you get the fucking passenger. I'll drive. So V's like, all right, leaving the driving to the professionals, I guess.
Yeah.
Cool.
And you're like, you couldn't wait 2 minutes, huh?
Yeah, couldn't wait 2 minutes. Couldn't wait 2 minutes.
I love it how when Panem hops in, she spends like a good 20 seconds adjusting the seat settings. Did you notice that?
Oh yeah, she's like getting it all back to how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. That tells you that she's very like ADHD a little bit, you know.
I get it because I'm the same way. Like, so, again, a little bit of a side tangent. The guy that I carpool with, who will be renamed, he'll remain nameless. There was one day he had to drive my car back, because there was an emergency at home, and whatever. As soon as I got in my car, when he came to pick me up and drop me off in my whip, I fucking hop in like, no, I'm not fucking moving. I'm like, okay, that feels right. Grab the steering wheel. Okay, I'm leaning too far back though. Okay, now we can go. So like, I get it. Like, I'm really particular with how my car is set up before I start driving. Like, it would drive me nuts.
I just thought it was a funny moment because she spends like a good 10 seconds doing that.
Yeah. And I feel like at one point she talks about being pissed off because he deleted her presets or some shit.
Oh, I do remember something like that.
Which to me, like, it makes me think not so much like her presets for like the seat or anything like that, but like fucking radio channels and shit. Like,
yeah.
Oh, god damn it. Fucking the ritual's not on there. He has blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. So you get the vehicle back, right? And at this point, Panem's like, oh, that's not over. We didn't get the actual guy that stole it. What was his name again?
Nash.
We didn't get Nash. And at this point, you can choose to like belittle her and to be like, is this not enough for you? Or you can be like, fuck yeah, revenge, let's go.
Yeah, and it's important to note here that if you don't go help her with Nash, you cannot pursue her as a romantic option.
I was about to ask that. So did you actually try that at one point in time?
No, so my first playthrough, I looked it up. I was like, okay, what are the romance options? Because I haven't played a lot of games where like there are specific things you have to do to be able to romance a character.
Yeah.
So I followed a guide, and I remember specifically that it said if you do not help her get Nash, the whole quest line dies.
Holy shit.
Yep.
So I was about to ask that. I'm like, so there's like 3 options, right? 3 or 4 options. But I think really only 2 of them matter. It's either you go help her or you just say, fuck it. Is this not enough? That wasn't part of the deal.
Yeah.
So I had never done that, saying, oh, fuck you. This wasn't part of the deal. Let's go. But I didn't want to discount the possibility of a romance. I'm undecided yet on who I want to romance. Like, do I want to do Carrie or Panem?
I'm a whore. I romance everybody.
So I'm undecided yet which one I want to do. So I was like, I want to keep that open. I was pretty damn sure I need to help her. So just for safety's sake, I did do that. You need to go find Nash, and he's holed up in like an abandoned mine somewhere, like fucking a mile away. It's very close by.
Yeah.
You go in, and this was the second skill check that I had. This one was fucking tough because you have Nash on the second floor sniping you with this fucking railgun, and then you have like 7 or 8 goons on the floor. And here I am with my baseball bat. You know, I was trying to charge in there like a fucking idiot, and I'd get blasted with, you know, all the gunfire, like Nash up there with the railgun. So that playstyle was not working for me. Eventually, I had to pull out the pistol, and even then I was getting my booties clapped.
So one thing I wanted to note that I've always thought is fucking funny, you know, you get up to the entrance and Pan Am asks, like, are you ready? Like, yeah, let's run him or something like that, right? And you start driving down the tunnel. And then you hit like the last fucking curve. Like before that, you're driving around. All of a sudden you hit the last curve, fucking full on floors that you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. It's a bit janky, that whole cinematic sequence. It's like a hover car, the way it maneuvers.
Kind of, but I just think it's funny, like, the whole time she's cruising, just like, nothing's wrong. Then she gets to, like, that last little bit, like, all right, fucking stomps on the fucking gas.
Yeah.
All right, motherfuckers, I'm here to fuck ya.
Yeah. So you engage in a fight sequence, you know, with, like, about 10 to 12 of his goons and Nash up there in the fucking tower. You kill them all. You don't die 7 or 8 times like I did.
Well, Nash. Finally, I can fucking get to it. Nash pissed me off because he kept trying to be a fucking agent from the Matrix.
Doesn't he have Sam Devistan?
Yeah. And you'll fucking see it. I try shooting him so many fucking times. As soon as I pull the trigger, it's like, motherfucker!
Only human. But yeah, he has Sam Devistan. He has a really cool railgun. I can't remember what that's called, but it's an iconic weapon, which I actually ended up picking up and killing the rest of his goons with. You didn't know he dropped a gun?
Never. I've never gone up to that.
Well, do you use tech weapons? You wouldn't like it anyway.
Okay.
But it's a pretty cool weapon. It got me through like that last little section where there was like 5 or 6 guys left after I killed him. I picked up his weapon, just railgun.
That's cool. Yeah, no, I didn't know he dropped a weapon. Like, even if I don't use the weapon, I like to collect them and put them in my stash because, like,
might still
I'm a
be
hoarder.
there.
I'm gonna have to go back because I want to go back for the Batmobile anyway.
The Batmobile?
It's the fastest car that you can get for free. You go in there, it's oh god, I can't remember what his name is called, or what the superhero is called. It's Night City's version of Batman. You go in to that same tunnel, but you go past where you fight everybody.
Uh-huh.
And in a little Connex box, you roll up the door and there's this fucking fancy ass car.
What?
And it's fast as fuck.
I'll have to go try that.
Yeah, it's like their version of a Lamborghini, basically. I can't remember what it is. I think it starts with an M. But in that container, there is a fuck do they call it? Things you fucking stick in with the
Shard?
thank you. There's a shard with the story of, I think his name is Nightman. Yeah, it's their take on Batman, like straight up talks about him being vengeful.
I am Nightman.
I am the Nightman. I protect the city at night.
That's awesome.
It's fucking cool. And that car is fast as fuck.
I'm gonna have to go get that.
It's cool.
So you help Panem with her revenge quest, and you pull up. So you have the goods, right? The goods that were stolen, and you pull up to the Sunset Motel, I believe it's called, right?
Yep.
And that's where you're going to meet the 6th Street Gang. The 6th Street Gang, they're kind of like war veterans, from the Corpo Wars. They stick together. They're very patriotic,
Yeah.
So you meet them, you give the goods to the 6th Street Gang. And I love this. You open up the door and you have just your Unity pistol ready to go in case anything goes down.
Yep. And there's a dialogue option again that opens up with like them asking who you are. And for me, I just said, we're partners.
Mm-hmm.
Try to help simplify things. Again, I've never let that run out.
Yeah. So that all happens. Panem is able to get her, money back. She'll get a nice tip from them, is what they say. And you go to
Give her a nice
celebrate. Ooh. Ooh. But the Sunset Motel is right there, right? And Panem's like, hey, let's go get a drink. Let's go celebrate. And I love sequences like this, man, where nothing of importance is really going on, but it's these character development moments where you get to just chill, hang out, and just, talk.
Yeah. And, you're sitting there talking to Panem for a while, like, kind of going like, what's going on in her head. Then you start talking about Andrew Hellman, and she goes, oh, I've got a first draft, but I need to sleep on it. I think it'd be best if we stay here. And this is where the romance, as far as your dialogue options are important here. This is where her romance quest really starts, right?
Okay.
So like, why don't we just get one room? It's like, oh, that's great. So and so has twin beds in every room, so we'll be able to save some money. Not quite what I had in mind.
Yeah.
What you have in mind? And V starts talking like, oh, I was thinking we could celebrate, and I didn't notice this until this playthrough. She says, oh, we can celebrate, and winks at you. I've never noticed the wink.
Damn. So I went down a similar route. Traditionally, when I played a female V for most of all my other playthroughs, there was not that option, right? I don't think there's an option for that.
I think there is, but so it's kind of like when you're a male V that's trying to romance Judy, you can go through the whole quest line.
Yeah.
But when it hits that end point, you can't get to the finale.
So I said, what about one room as well? But then when she kind of like played dumb, I eased it back a little bit. I said, okay, you're not getting this. It's fine. I was just joking. So I reeled it back a little bit. I didn't want to play too hardball because I thought maybe she would have like seen that as like annoying.
See, which is funny because even when I was a female V, I still fucking didn't like roll the dice.
So she winks at you and says, okay.
Basically, yeah, she like, so, you go with the, that's not quite what I meant, and, or what I had in mind. She's, well, what'd you have in mind? I was like, oh, well, I was thinking we could celebrate. It's like, yeah, we can celebrate. Winks at you, but not tonight. I'm beat. And then just immediately goes back to,
oh, okay. So she's still, it's not like you sleep in the same twin bed. She still gives you
still sleep in separate beds.
Oh, okay.
But that's, if you don't pick that dialogue option, you don't get to finish the rest of the quest line.
Oh.
Which is fucked up.
Wait, if you don't choose that, you can't romance her at all?
I think so. If I remember right. Yeah.
Fuck.
You might have fucked yourself.
Well, fuck.
Which means you can't do the rest of that quest.
We'll see. Maybe I still can. Because I chose the first one, just not the second one. So yeah, you both sleep in the same room, and then you wake up and you're instantly bombarded with text messages and everything. You have a fit with your shard. Start coughing up blood again, and this is when all the fucking annoying ass like glitches in cyberware start appearing. These are foreshadowing of your death, right? Just to remind you in the back of your head, like, hey, just in case you forgot, you're dying. You're dying.
Yeah, which it's a good thing to note, actually. The first time you see that is when you're leaving the afterlife to go call Panem. As soon as you cross the threshold where the bouncer is, you get hit with another one.
That's right.
So like, they try to, keep throwing those at you, and progressively they do get worse. Like I remember at one point, you're like, you fucking cough up blood and pass the fuck out.
Yeah, I think that's the point of no return.
It's close to it.
Yeah. Well, there's actually a couple moments where you pass out and someone has to carry you home or whatever the fuck. Oh, Jesus.
Carry me home.
So
Sorry.
this is actually going to be where we end this episode, because I think this is a good amount of time. We're 1 hour into the fucking podcast, and after this, I think this is where you do a little bit of setup, and then it catapults you taking down the convoy, right?
Yeah, so at this point, you wake up, Panem's not there, and you get a text message that says, like, meet me at midnight in the garage,
Yeah.
which I believe starts lightning break, something like that. So after that's when you start doing all, like, the setup and shit.
Yeah. So,
Um,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, so that's the end of Ghost Town, like the official end. Once you wake up, you move on to the next.
Want you to put a little makeup? But this is going to be the pretty much the official ending of this podcast. Some honorable mentions of events, because right now we're not really covering side quest shit, but some honorable mentions that I do want to throw out there. At this point in the story, you can get a text message from Mama Wells.
I haven't gotten that yet.
You haven't?
Not yet.
So I got the message and she says, V, we need to talk. And I call her back. And that's when Mama Wells says, we're going to have the afuera. Is that what you call it? Afuera or Alfuera?
It's not afuera, but I can't remember what it is.
Fuck me.
Doggy afuera. That's why you got that in your head, you fucking dumbass.
It's a Spanish funeral procedure, right? Ceremony, right?
Yeah.
So I can't pronounce it. Sorry. But it's some kind of like Mexican Spanish funeral ceremony for Jackie Wells.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of it, but
Afuenda. Is it Afuenda? Fuck me. I'm typing it. Okay, I think it's called an ofrenda. So I'm going to cut that out so it's not as fucking, you're just waiting for me to search it up. So I think it's called a ofrenda, like a Spanish offering. But so that's where you go and you honor Jackie. And I'm not going to do that yet, but I just wanted to mention that like this is where you could start that quest line if you want.
I'm willing to bet I might actually have that text message, because a lot of the text that you get after you wake up at your apartment, I actually recorded that for the last episode and just cut it.
Yeah.
But I might do that just because I want my fucking motorcycle.
Yeah. And
I
also,
don't drive cars. I ride motorcycle.
And I think you can get Jackie's pistols too. I think. I've never gotten them before, but I remember hearing something about how you can get Jackie's iconic pistol.
I'm going to look it up. I want them. That'd be fucking cool. Dual wielding shit.
But for all intents and purposes, this is the end of this episode of Cyberpunk 2077, the video game, our coverage of this. I think it's episode 9.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure anymore. Every time you've fucking given out a number, you've been wrong.
I know.
You're wrong about episode numbers. I suck at countries.
I know. So this is episode... I'm not even close. It's episode 6.
You fucking suck.
Anyway, so we will...
Got it. See, you said it was 9, 6, 9, 69. There we go.
69 is it's like Illuminati. Nice. Anyway, is there anything else you want to add about this episode before we close out?
Not that I can think of. No, like it was a pretty good set of missions. You know, we get to finally interact with Rogue. We got to actually get quite a bit of backstory if you do the optional dialogues with Panem. And oh my god,
Jesus, Hunter, I could smell it from here.
I'm sorry. The action was good. Like it was nice to have a set of missions that was more interactive as opposed to just scripted after the interlude. Because like the interlude, it's so heavily just, you know, you're on a track like A to B. Like you don't get to have really any influence on anything.
Yeah,
you're just picking fucking. Oh, I don't want to say this. I want to say this. I don't want to say that. I want to say this.
And I feel like this is the first time where we have a combat sequence that's not scripted, that it does not hold your hand, and it's very like a skill check, right? Like,
Yeah, like it goes back honestly to like the All Foods mission.
yeah,
So it's actual fucking fighting.
where it doesn't
Or
hold your
I
hand.
guess it'd be the heist, not the All Foods mission. But you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, where the combat does not hold your hand at all.
yeah. No, it fucking raw dogs you.
Yeah.
Because if they fucking increase that difficulty, like, oh yeah. Oh, you didn't prepare?
Yeah.
Oh, we're
Jesus.
sorry.
Well, I definitely think I'm going to be tweaking my build, leveling up, and trying out some cyberware. Because right now, my melee tank build sucks ass. And if I don't get it to a point where I like it, I'm just going to go back to blades and katanas.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna be doing the same thing. I'm gonna be doing all the police scanner missions, aside from the ones that they create their own little like side mission.
Yeah.
I'll get it started, but that's about it. But I want to get it to where I can get my cyberware back, because like one piece of cyberware I've always had is second heart,
Yeah.
which makes it to where if you die, you come back at full health.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's one other one that actually lets you regen health, but I could be mistaken.
Yeah. I think it's the blood pump.
Well, I have blood pump. Blood pump, it acts like your fucking inhaler,
Oh.
but it's built in.
Yeah.
Built different. So you just fucking tap it and you get like 50 health back or whatever.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, this has been our episode of Cyberpunk 2077 for Sci-Fi Sunday. Catch us next time, where we will be taking down Andrew Hellman's troop transport and all the shenanigans,
Shenanigans.
all the I can't even talk right now. All the shindigs that'll happen with that episode. So anyway, catch us next time for our episode of Cyberpunk 2077 on Sci-Fi Sunday. We will catch you guys on the flip side. My name is Adam.
I am Hunter Chambliss.
We will catch you guys next time, I guess. Bye-bye. 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 Bye.
You fucking broke me.
I don't know, a happier ending for everyone involved.
Here, for folks like us, wrong city, wrong people.
A thing of beauty, I know, will never fade away. What you did to me, I know. Said what you had to say, but a thing of beauty.
Goodbye, and never stop fighting.